Did you know why one of the most talented drivers in NASCAR decided to step away from full-time racing? Kasey Kahne was known for his incredible skill behind the wheel, his fearless attitude, and his ability to push limits on the track. But after years of high-speed battles, intense crashes, and the physical toll that comes with racing, Kahne made that shocking decision. So, what led him to walk away from a sport he loved? In today's episode, we will uncover the real reason why Kasey Kahne stepped away from NASCAR. Kasey Kahne started racing when he was young, and he soon proved that he had a rare skill. He drove in more than 70 races each year in his early career, and he gained many wins. His life was full of fast speeds and hard challenges. He felt the thrill of every race, and he learned that each lap could bring both joy and danger. Kasey began his career when he was in his teenage years, and he quickly rose to fame. He participated in at least 70 races per year when he was young, and he gained experience from each one. Every race meant long hours on the track, and every lap demanded full focus. He had to decide in just a few seconds, and his choices often changed the result of the race. The speed was just fast, and the risks were high. Each race taught him the true cost of pushing limits, and he learned that even a small mistake could have a big price. Over the years, Kahne faced many hard moments on the track, and he experienced crashes that shook him deeply. In 2019, he had a crash that changed his view of racing. He was driving his sprint car when the vehicle flipped and hit the door top. His head hit the metal with great force, and the shock left him feeling dizzy.
When I crashed my sprint car hard and knocked out, and
you took a little break
and realized,
didn't you have to step out?
Yeah, I tried to race,
Yeah.
and basically I was entering the corner. When I thought I was entering the corner at the right time, it was like 100 feet late, and I had no clue other than when I would get there, I was in a different spot than I really thought I was in.
Right.
And that's when I realized, I was questioning kind of my head.
Kahne also had an incident in 2013 at a track in New Hampshire that left him with mixed feelings. He hit the inside wall with a force that shocked him, and he walked away with no clear signs of major injury. Yet, he felt a strange unease after the crash, and he began to notice that his reactions on the track were not what they used to be. He felt a mild disorientation, and his mind did not work as sharply as before.
There was another, in 13 I crashed at Loudon, New Hampshire, hit the inside wall.
Yeah. You gave this really crazy interview. Do you ever, have you
so
watched
I'd seen
that
the
back?
interview, and it's very confused.
Yes. Do you?
And I caught myself after that. I'd be driving from, I lived in Sherrills Ford, I'd be driving into Mooresville and just be happy as can be running 25 miles an hour down the road, 35 miles an hour down the road.
50-mile-an-hour zone or something, like slow.
And have no clue, right? So I caught myself doing things like that after that one.
Yeah.
But I never felt off in the car.
But
But when I look back, I know I had to have been off in the car.
Sure.
But I didn't feel it. The only things that were off to me was, I'd catch myself doing things that I was surprised I was doing on the roads. So that means, in the car, I might have been as well, but always raced through it. Prior to that, I never felt anything different, weird, nothing.
The risk to his health was not the only factor that led him to make a change. Kahne also examined the equipment he used every time he raced. Over the years, safety features in cars had changed, and he was one of the first to support better measures. He worked with experts and mechanics to improve the safety of the vehicles. In his early days, he had experienced a problem with the center belt, and he learned that this part was very important. He saw that when the car flipped, the center belt held him in place and could sometimes tear through the seat back. He worked with experts to add a steel bar to the design, and he adopted a new system that used pucks to cushion the force.
John Padalecki, he came by our shop from NASCAR and spent a good bit of time reviewing some wrecks with me, and I learned way more about what the seatbelts are going through, what seatbelts are going through what, because certain ones really aren't doing a whole lot, and other ones are, depending on how you land. To me, the biggest thing is, or the two biggest things I've done, and I won't race a sprint car without it, is we put a second, that the center belt between your legs goes over a steel bar, basically, so it can't tear the seat back. That was one thing that I had.
Tear the seat.
Yeah, so like where the center belt comes up and goes through the seat.
Yep.
Usually that hole's a little further in front. So when you wreck hard upside down, I tore my seat once through there.
Jesus. The aluminum? Is it an aluminum seat?
Which instantly made the belt
looser.
3 inches longer.
Damn it.
So now you've lost that center belt. So the next time I landed that way, I didn't really have the center belt. And that's the only belt that pretty much holds you, or it holds the highest percentage by far when you land on your top.
Damn it.
Kasey was known for his determination and his willingness to push his body to the limit. For many years, he raced with all his heart, and his schedule was packed with events. At one time, he drove in more than 70 races each year, and he pushed himself with every lap. But with every race, the numbers added up and his body showed signs of the toll it had taken. His age reached 44 years, and each impact made him think of his future. He began to weigh the cost of his passion, and his family played a major part in his decision. His wife and his children needed him to be healthy and strong, and his life off the track became more important than the thrill of racing. His career was filled with moments of glory and moments of pain. Every race added excitement, and every crash left a mark. The numbers of races, the milliseconds lost in reaction time, and the physical pain made him think of the future in a very clear way. He saw that his body could only take so many impacts and that the risk was too high. He knew that each race added a new challenge and that the chance of long-term injury grew with every lap. The simple math of risk versus reward did not add up in his favor when he thought of his future and his family. The process of stepping away from his full-time NASCAR racing was not sudden. Kahne made his decision gradually over many years, and he reduced the number of races he took part in. He decided to focus on a few select events instead of racing in more than 70 events per year. This change allowed him to manage his health more carefully while still enjoying the sport he loved. His new plan meant racing only a few times each year, and he was careful to choose events that brought him the most joy and excitement. The numbers in his schedule dropped and his body was given a chance to recover. He learned to listen to his body, and he accepted that sometimes the best choice was to step back. He began to see that the thrill of racing was not worth the chance of permanent harm to his body. The simple figures did not hide the truth that every race increased the risk of a serious injury. His family was at the heart of his decision, and their safety was more important than any race win. His wife and his children were his reason to be safe and healthy, and he did not want them to suffer if he were to be seriously injured. The cost of every race was a small number that added up over time, and his mind could not ignore the total. He made the choice to slow down and to focus on a life where his family came first. Kasey Kahne did not give up on racing completely. He still loved the sport, and he could not ignore the joy that came with every lap. Now, don't forget to comment down your thoughts on this, and while you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well.